All right, so we're talking about, in this unit, where this is unit 2, so we're just starting to talk about scams, phishing, and fraud, okay? A lot of it is online. We're talking about online. Usually face-to-face, you don't get scammed as easily. Usually it's online stuff, so it's primarily online that we're talking about. Now, we just got finished watching this video, Kate Gets Scammed, Money Smart Rookie. Oh, is the screen frozen for you guys? All right, Alex, can you turn off that first light switch on the left so it's easier to see? There you go. So we just watched this video. It's very quick. If you want to check it out, it's on the website here, Kate Gets Scammed. This is the question sheet that you're working on. So let's take a look at the questions from the video. Question 1, in this scenario with Kate there, what were 2 warning signs that the online magazine subscription website was not trustworthy? So what did you put down for that? What were 2 things? What's 1? Someone shout out 1. Yeah.
There wasn't a padlock.
Okay, so there wasn't a little padlock thing, okay, on the address bar. Okay. So on the address bar of, no, you can't really see it up here. But if you go to a site where you're purchasing something, or most sites, they will have a little padlock, okay? What does that mean? Secure. It means it's a secure site, okay? So they have some checks in place there. If you're going to be buying things, if you're going to be putting your credit card in there, if you're going to be divulging personal information, it's important that has it's a secure website, right? Okay, so what was the other thing that was a warning sign that this website that she purchased this subscription from was not trustworthy? What was the other thing? Anybody put the second thing there? You all put 2 things, right? So that's 1 thing, so that means you must have another thing.
The contacts.
Okay, what about the contact?
They weren't responding.
Yeah, that's exactly it. They weren't responding to the emails. After emailing them, there was no response. A year went by, right? Before she heard anything, so it's like, we got problems. So yeah, so there's no little padlock at the beginning of the website there. Yeah, secure sites use HTTPS and display a padlock icon. So if you see the S, sometimes you won't see a padlock icon. So some sites are secure, some sites are not. If you see the full site, so there's HTTPS there, okay? But yeah, that you might find that they have the S, which is important, but maybe not the padlock. But, okay, question number 2. So yeah, we talked about all of these things right here. It's good. So question number 2, what protection would the customer have had if they had purchased the subscription through, in this case, an Australian website instead of an overseas one? So this person was from Australia, and what protections would the customer have had? Did you catch that on the video? Okay, yeah, there are consumer protection laws in one's country that usually protect against, a citizen against fraud. So in the video, she said that under Australian consumer law, because she phoned in, she checked, the consumer could have protections such as the right to a refund, replacement, or repair if goods are not delivered or are faulty. So buying from a country, from your business from your own country often gives citizens certain consumer rights, okay? If it's overseas, you may not, the country may not be able to go after people overseas, and those businesses are not often under the same laws, okay, as a certain country. Any other questions about that one? Okay, so a follow-up question would be, what consumer protections exist in your country? Okay, in our case, Canada, right? What consumer protections exist in Canada? Do we have a right to a refund, replacement, or repair if goods are not delivered or are faulty? Do we have anything like that? What are consumer protections in Canada? So please write that down on your paper. Good chance you will be asked about this in the future. So we should look up what's happening in our own country too. All right, question number 3. Imagine your friend is about to buy something from an unfamiliar online store. Based on the lessons learned from this scenario, list at least 3 steps they should take to make sure the website is safe before entering payment details. Somebody that hasn't spoke yet, give me one. Shout out. First one's always the easiest one, right?
Look at the reviews.
Look at the reviews, yes. Look at the reviews and see what people have been saying. Okay, that's a good idea. Yeah, that's one of them. What else? Yep.
Make sure they're easy to contact, whether by address.
Yes, make sure that they appear to be easy to contact by either address or email or phone. So if there appears to be clear and reliable information, then that's another good thing to look for. That's 2. Yeah, what's another one?
Probably look around online to see if there's anything about it being not trustworthy.
Yep, that's right. You could research the seller's reputation, right, online. That's right. So sometimes I get a phone call from a certain company asking for, you know, they want to do a survey or they want something like that. Sometimes if it sounds fishy, I'll look them up online while I'm on the phone, right? You guys done that? So you could look them up. Wow, maybe you guys don't get phone calls like I do, but yeah, you can quickly search something, even if it's an email or something, or even if it seems like an opportunity. If you look up online, you might be able to find a lot of people talking about something that's fraudulent for sure. Okay, what's one more? What's one more thing that you would, just based on the last question that we talked about, what would you recommend for them to be safe online?
Be a country with consumer laws.
Yes. Make sure it's coming from a country with good consumer protection laws. Or if once we research our own country's consumer protection laws, maybe you could say, hey, make sure the website is Canadian-based or American-based. Usually Canada and America both have are pretty reliable, but yeah, for sure for your own country, you should look up what kind of protection. So I think that's good. One more thing, what about the website itself? What should they be looking for on the website itself? What makes it secure?
The HTTPS.
Yeah, make sure it's got HTTPS, S means secure, or the padlock, or both. Okay, that makes sense? So that's, I think we hit all four here that I had, yeah. So these steps reduce the risk of being scammed, increase the trust in the online seller for sure. Okay. Any questions about that one? Okay, so that's the video, Kate gets scammed. Hopefully we can learn a few things from that, so we want to keep that. Okay. Okay, too good to be true. This is the second video we're watching today right here. So we just watched that video. So the first question. So the 2 features of a strong password makes it harder to guess. So a strong password includes a mix of uppercase letters, lowercase letters, and numbers, ideally symbols. You guys have probably been through this before, right? You've had to make a password. I know at my job with the school division here, they make us make up a really crazy, difficult to guess password, and it's usually one of those passwords that the phone picks for you. You know, those really long ones. Except I don't always use my phone to access my stuff, so I try and pick a really complicated one. But you have to use a mix of symbols, upper, lowercase, numbers, all sorts of stuff. The variety increases the number of possible combinations, obviously making it harder for scammers to guess. Don't ever use your personal information like your address or your birth date. It's probably not a good idea, because if they, they'll actually try that first. Or anything that's obvious about you, like your last name or something. Like, try not to use that in your. Any other tips or for having a good password? Don't tell us your passwords, but any good tips that you would give a friend? Do any of you do like type a sentence as a password? Okay. I've done that before. A sentence, like a short sentence, capital letter at the beginning, numbers at the end. It makes it long, with no spaces, of course. Well, I guess you could do spaces. I don't think space is a legitimate character, really. You probably shouldn't do spaces. But yeah, if you do like a sentence, like penguins are awesome or something.
You can use Bible verses. Yeah,
you could use Bible verse references, or even just for God so loved, right? Hold your shift down and put 316 or something. Yeah, so those are some good ideas. All right, question number 2. Okay, I'm going to keep that just a question at the bottom of the screen so we don't see a published answers just yet. What does the small padlock symbol mean? Okay, we already learned about this from the last video. So what is it?
Website's
It means website is
secure.
secure. That's right. So let's see. I knew at one point what HTTPS. Any of you coders or computer science guys know what this means? You have to go?
Yeah.
Okay. You guys know? Secure. It's hypertext something. I'd have to look it up. I don't know offhand. I've seen it though. Hypertext, transcription, protocol, security or something, secure. I think it's something like that. So yeah, the S at the end of it means secure. Okay. Credit card numbers are encrypted. So what means when you send between your device, when you type it in, that means that information gets encrypted. It gets scrambled a little bit, so it's a special decoding system. And so, yeah, it keeps it being obvious from anyone that might want to steal it. Okay, question 3. Give one example of a common red flag that may indicate an email scam. What's one of the warning symbols or the warning signs of an email scam? Nathan? Hey, yeah, keep your head up, please. Yeah, okay. Bad grammar. Okay, good. Anything else? Yeah.
It seems too good to be true.
Okay, just generally seems too good to be true. You've won a house. Just click here to claim your prize. Nice. That's so awesome. No, it's usually not a good idea. Okay, anything else? Let's see what's up here. Grammar mistakes. Very good. And hey, too good to be true. Like, you are the or the 1 millionth visitor. Yay, you win a prize. Okay. So usually they're just trying to get you to click a button, right? That it involves a link that opens up your computer or to attack. Okay, good. Those are good. All right, what is identity theft and how do scammers typically gather the information needed to commit it? Okay, what do they mean by identity theft? Okay, someone who hasn't answered yet. Identity theft. What is identity theft? When they take what? And don't just say your identity. Cash, what do you think?
It's when they collect data off you.
Okay.
On your person.
Yeah, they collect personal data, right?
Yeah.
So they collect, things that like your birth date or your name or social insurance number or credit card number. So if they take that, then they can pretend to be you, right? That's identity theft. So online, it's pretty easy to pretend to be somebody else if you have a few critical pieces of information, right? You guys probably can guess that. So you got to be careful what you share and what's out there. All right. Do scammers collect large pieces of, large swaths of information, or they do it little bits at a time? Yeah, lots of times it's just getting little bits on you. That adds up. So they take personal details, date of birth, address, credit card numbers to impersonate. Yes, scammers usually collect small bits of data from places like social media profiles. Over time, they have enough to pose as the victim. So be careful what you use. I know, like emails, like your email gets on a site or whatever, and all of a sudden you have all of these, these emails that are like, you could lose a lot of fat if you just go on this diet program. I'm like, what? Since when did I sign up for this program? I don't care about this, Do you want to go on a cruise to Siberia? No, I don't. Why are you asking me? How'd you get my number? Does anyone else on their cell phone get like, hi, do you want to work on the weekend? We have a job.
I got one recently.
Give me a break. Oh, terrible. Somebody's got my number. All right, question number 5. This is the last one. The last one says, imagine you find a great online deal for expensive shoes, but the website has no padlock symbol. The reviews look fake, and the grammar on the site is poor. What steps should you take before deciding whether to buy and why? What do you think you should do? Just buy the stuff, right? Don't even question. Buy it. Buy a bunch of it. Because it's a good deal. No? Okay, what else? Elizabeth?
Read the fine print on the website.
Okay, fine print is a good idea. Yes. Read the fine print. If you agree to something, how many of you have seen that, do you agree? Like, agree?
Yeah.
And you're like, do I want to read all this? Not really. Right? It can be dangerous, for sure. Okay, so what about the website? You want to check to see if it is secure, if it doesn't have a padlock symbol. Okay? You're not going to buy from it, right? The reviews look fake. Okay, I don't know what do fake reviews look like?
John stock since it was
Huh?
like someone commented and said like John stock.
Oh.
Sometimes they're in a different language.
Sometimes they what?
In a different language, and when you like press the translate button, it's all weird.
Oh, okay, yeah. Sometimes they're in a different language, and yeah, if you translate it, it's like the dog flies over the moon. Okay.
The reviews are similar, same to each other.
Okay, yeah. So if there's a number of good reviews, right, it goes up. So if it's the same, if somebody's just copying and pasting and like clicking, oh wow, I have 100 good reviews. Now I have 150. Hey, awesome. I'm awesome. Right? Yeah, they could be doing that. Okay. So, yeah, so read the fine print, look for suspicious details. Should you be giving them your email and your credit card information if you suspect something? No. So before you buy, check the website secure. Okay, if it's not, doesn't have a padlock symbol, make sure it has an S symbol, because some do have the S but not the padlock necessarily. Read independent reviews. Okay, so if you have reviews from the website itself, might not be very trustworthy. Poor grammar, fake testimonials. Okay, we talked about that. Avoid entering payment details until you're 100% sure the site is legit. Okay. So if you go through kind of this checklist and some of the other things that we've talked about already this class, I think you guys should be good. All right, so what's the difference between a scam and a phishing attempt or phishing? What's the difference there? What's the difference? They talked about a little bit on the video. What's the difference? Okay, let's focus on the phishing. What is a phishing attempt? What does that mean? What's common to a phishing attempt? Sorry? Okay, trying to fish information of you, like throwing the hook in the water and fishing? Okay. Yeah, they're trying to get your information, for sure. They're not actually asking you to type in your password, or it's usually like a link. It's usually like, oh, here's a link. Press the link to go to this, or press the link to see this, or press the link to review this, or yeah. So it's usually a link. Phishing is usually some kind of email that's a mass email, and it's usually a link. And that link then connects your computer to the bad guys. Yeah, so a scam can be lots of different things. It can be a link like that, but a scam is like, oh, you have to enter this information, or we need to verify your personal details. So please go to this site and enter in your address and name and email, and we should be good to go, right? Or you've won a trip, so call this number to claim your prize. And on the phone, they try and convince you that, yeah, and the trip, you get $10,000 worth of a trip to the Bahamas. The only thing is you have to pay for your flight to get down there, which is like $600-700. Get down to Tampa, then we'll cruise you out or whatever. I go, oh, really? So I got $10,000 worth. All I have to do is spend $600 to get down there? Nice. Okay, sign me up. I'll do it. All right. And then you give them your $600 for the flight, and it's not for the flight. And then there's no trip. So you just gave away $600. Okay? Elaborate scam. Okay? Some people fall for that. It's not that hard actually to fall for something, because these people do this a lot, and it's very tricky to figure out what is the truth. All right? Any questions about this one? All right. All right, very good.